this lesson, you're going to learn to ask somebody how they're doing. And you're also going to learn to say how you are doing in case somebody asks you. Now, before we start, let's find out, how do you feel about this topic? Do you feel pretty confident? Do you feel so-so? Or do you feel like you need to learn a lot? In our previous lesson, we learned how to say hello. We learned how to say hola, hello, informal. You can use it anytime. We learned how to say buenos días for good morning, buenas tardes for good afternoon, and buenas noches for good evening or to say goodbye at night, like good night. Now, we're going to be focusing on asking somebody how they're doing. Basically, whatever comes after you say hello. So let's start. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to ask how somebody's doing and answer how you are doing. Of course, in Spanish. The first thing I want to tell you is that unlike English, in Spanish, we have two ways of speaking. Some countries are very serious about this, while other countries are a little bit more flexible. What does that mean? All that it means is that there are two ways to talk to somebody, a formal way and an informal way. And again, you're gonna see this pattern as we go through our lessons. This is one of those times that we have to pay attention to. So if you want to ask somebody how they're doing, but you want to be formal, that means you may not know that person. That means it may be your boss or somebody you want to show respect to. You're going to use the formal way of how are you? And this is how that would look. You would say, ¿Cómo está usted? ¿Cómo está usted? Now, a little trick here, that usted may or may not be included in the question. You may choose to add it or not. It just adds a little emphasis. So you could also say, ¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo está? Now let's pair it up with a greeting. Hola, ¿cómo está usted? Or, hola, ¿cómo está? That is a formal way. Now you give it a try. Try it with buenos días. Yes, buenos días, ¿cómo está usted? Or, buenos días, ¿cómo está? Very good. Now we learned that formal way, now let's focus on the informal way. The informal way may be used with somebody that's younger, somebody that you already have a relationship with, or somebody that you probably just feel comfortable with. And it's going to look a little similar to the formal way, but there's a few changes, so pay attention. So the informal way of asking, how are you, would be, ¿Cómo estás tú? ¿Cómo estás tú? You try it. That's right. ¿Cómo estás tú? Now, you guessed that. If you were paying attention, you probably remember that I told you that usted in the formal way, we can use it or not use it. The same thing happens for the informal. That tú, we can choose to use it or not. So we can say, ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Or we can say, ¿Cómo estás tú? ¿Cómo estás tú? Now, let's pair it up with a greeting. Let's go with our simple informal way. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Hola, ¿cómo estás tú? You try it. You try it with buenas tardes. Yes, buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás? Buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás tú? So let's bring up our formal and our informal way up on the screen. That way you can see the differences. The main difference is going to be on our verb estar. One has an S, the informal way, and the formal way has no S. That's going to be the major difference. And of course, that usted and that tú. So just keep that in mind. We have ¿Cómo está usted? Or ¿Cómo está? And ¿Cómo estás tú? Or ¿Cómo estás? A little bit more relaxed way of asking, hey, how's it going? Would be ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Now that you is silent. So do remember that in this case, when it's between a Q and a vowel, you is silent. So you're gonna say ¿Qué tal? Hola, ¿qué tal? Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenos días, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes, ¿qué tal? You give it a try with buenas noches. That's right, buenas noches, ¿qué tal? Another kind of informal way of asking, how's it going, would be, ¿cómo te va? ¿Cómo te va? How is it going? So again, you can pair it up with, hola, ¿cómo te va? Buenos días, ¿cómo te va? Buenas noches, ¿cómo te va? So we're at that point where I want to ask you how you're feeling. Just a quick check-in. Are you feeling pretty confident? Are you feeling so-so? Or do you still feel like you need a lot more extra work? Again, it's a check-in for you to know how you're progressing through the lesson. Good, I'm glad you took note of that so we can keep moving forward. Now, at this point, we know how to say hello and we know how to ask, how is it going? How are you? So now it's time to answer the question. It's important that you're able to understand what people are answering, or if you're on the other side, for you to be able to answer how you are doing. Ready? Let's go. Let's be real. When somebody asks you how you're doing, the standard answer is, I'm good, thank you. Whether you're doing good, so-so, or not good at all. So let's start there, and then we can build on in case you want to be specific to how you truly are feeling. So generally speaking, when somebody says, ¿Cómo está? Formal. ¿Cómo estás? Informal. ¿Qué tal? Or ¿Cómo te va? Which are just kind of relaxing ways, easy ways of asking how you're doing. You could simply say, Estoy bien, gracias. I'm good, thank you. Estoy bien, gracias. I am good, thank you. You give it a try. ¿Cómo estás? That's right. Estoy bien, gracias. I'm good, thank you. To say you're kind of regular or so-so, you could say, Estoy regular. Estoy regular. Or estoy más o menos. Estoy más o menos. So, ¿cómo estás? Estoy regular. Estoy más o menos. Those are acceptable answers too. Regular, más o menos. You give it a try. Estoy regular. Yes. Estoy más o menos. Good. Now you want to say you're really not doing good. You're bad. In that case, you would say, estoy mal. Estoy mal. You could even emphasize it and say, estoy muy mal. Estoy muy mal. Estoy mal, I'm bad. Estoy muy mal, I'm very bad. I'm really bad. That muy will emphasize. To ask somebody how they're doing, also, like follow up on that question, you would say, ¿Y tú? And you? ¿Y tú? And you? And then they will also answer that I'm good, I'm so-so, or I'm bad. But remember, ¿Y tú? And you is what you would say after you've told somebody how you're doing. You want to be polite and continue that conversation and find out how that person is doing as well. So you probably have noticed that estoy means I am. And that is something that you want to keep on the back of your mind as we go through the lessons. That's going to prove to be really helpful to you. So now that we know how to ask how somebody's doing and we know what they will answer or what to answer, let's kind of put it all together. Let's bring back our greetings. Let's bring back how to ask how somebody's doing, and let's bring back those answers. Are you ready to give it a try? Excellent. So I am going to say the first part. I am going to show your answer on the screen. Just read it out loud, and we're going to kind of continue the conversation. Got it? Excellent. Hola. Muy bien. ¿Y tú? Good. Were you able to follow along? Excellent. Let's give it another try. Buenas tardes. Más o menos. ¿Y tú? Good. That's basically how those conversations go. You have a greeting, you have a question, you have an answer, you ask and you, and then there's another answer. Buenas noches. ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien, gracias. Now, I want you to start the conversation, and now I'm gonna take your place. So the first part is gonna be yours. Are you ready? Good. ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien, gracias. So now you know how to greet somebody, how to ask them how they're doing, and how to answer that question. So let's check in and find out how you're feeling about these greetings. Are you feeling pretty confident? Are you feeling like you need a little bit more work, so-so? Or do you feel like you still need a lot of practice? And again, it's okay wherever you're at. It's just a check-in to find out how you're feeling so you know if you need to rewatch these videos, take a few more notes, or if you're good to move on to the next lesson.